Hello everybody, this is the BG, and today we're going to be talking about how to make garlic sauce. And to show you how to make it, we've brought in the calm and soothing voice of our friend Mr. Veggie.
The ingredients for making garlic sauce are pretty simple. So you have canola oil, raw peeled garlic, lemon juice, and salt. And here's Mr. Veggie's recipe for making about 5 cups of garlic sauce. Yeah, it's full of oil, so this truly is a dipping sauce, not something that you're going to eat cups and cups of, I hope. The equipment for making garlic sauce opens an interesting discussion because our first attempt was a complete fail, partly because of the equipment. But we learn from our failures, so here's our lessons learned. First, it's easier to do this in a blender than a food processor because the blades of a blender typically spin faster than a food processor. In the first batch that Mr. Veggie made, he used a food processor and a measuring cup to add the oil, but this ended up being a disaster, as you can see here. The sauce just never really came together. It stayed soupy and oily. It really was a lemon and garlic infused oil rather than a garlic sauce. So in the second batch, he used a Vitamix, and as you'll see, the Vitamix obliterated any division between garlic and oil, leaving only behind pillowy puffs of garlic sauce. The second lesson that we learned was to add the oil very, very slowly. Adding too much at one time won't allow the sauce to come together like it should. We found it super helpful to use a squeeze bottle to better modulate the addition of oil to the sauce.
Take it away, Mr. Veggie.
So we make garlic sauce quite often at home, and the first thing I like to do is make sure to get about a half a cup of lemon juice. So the first thing I like to do is I like to roll the lemon around a little bit. Here, that kind of helps loosen up some of the juice from the wall of the lemon. Sometimes I'll even put it in the microwave for about 15-20 seconds just to not get it too hot, but kind of just to get the juice a little warm. And then roll it around a little bit just to kind of get a little more juice. And I bet you probably maybe get like 10% more juice out of the lemon. I have no scientific data to back this up, but that's what it feels true.
Yep.
Squeeze the lemon.
I believe the rolling ruptures the corpuscles of the lemon.
Ooh, I believe it. You can actually, when you're doing it, you actually feel the, just the outside getting a little looser. Woo! All right. Well, I learned a lot the other day and did a lot of reflecting on what I could do better, and I realized, you gotta. I was going slow, but man, you gotta go even slower. So, got the garlic in there, and I love this little pressing, this little squeezy guy.
So what we're doing on this one is we're adding oil to a squeeze bottle
Yeah.
to optimize control.
I think that is the key, optimizing control, because the probably just like mayo or anything else you make, and you gotta once you tip the scales with too much oil, you can't dig up,
So now we have got that.
Teaspoon or less of salt, not too much.
Scrape down. Now it's not going to flow until there's enough liquid to actually cover the blades.
Gotcha. It's already doing quick work. All right. About as much as it can go.
Yep. So if you add a little lemon juice or a little oil or something.
Yeah, just a little bit of lemon juice here.
So I would be fine adding oil at this point.
Yeah. Scrape it down. I think, yeah, like especially at the beginning, you just like want to get just a thick paste, like really stirring. And once you see that thick paste, then you know you got that starter.
So this really is the key of using a blender properly. You have to change the speed to make sure that you're getting a vortex from the top to bottom of the blender. If you're not seeing that cross shape on the top of the blender, that means that there is an air bubble around the blades, and what's on top of the blender is not being brought down to the bottom of the blender and then circulated through the entire cup. The only two ways to fix this problem are to either slow the blender down so that whatever's in the blender bottle can settle down and then you don't have the air bubble anymore. But for something like this sauce that's so thick, you have to use a spatula to get the sauce settled back down again, and then watch your speed as you ramp back up again.
All
Oh
right.
my God, it's like a marshmallow. That's how puffy that is.
How about that cools down too? That'll
Yeah.
be super.
Yeah. And I think you have to like let it get to room temperature before you put it in the fridge.
Mhm. All right, everybody.
So there you go. That's how you make garlic sauce. It is learning the art of how to use a blender or a really good food processor, because making good garlic sauce depends on how fast you can get those blades moving to emulsify the garlic into the oil. This is BG, keeping it square.
Thanks for watching today, and welcome new subscribers. Now that you've learned how to make garlic sauce, come back next month to learn how to make a delightful Middle Eastern dish called mujedra, which is just amazing. Subscribe to us to help us reach our goal. Check out our website, and thanks for joining us on our final freezer. Hey Kermit, what is garlic?
It's like a seasoning that makes food smell better.
Is it a plant? What is it?
Garlic is a plant, and sometimes you can grow it in the gardens.
Oh. What shape is it?
It's like a round shape, kind of, and something coming out of it like a top.
You've been paying attention. High five. Excellent. Raising them right.